Hey guys, welcome back. Merry Danmas.
I was originally going to go see the movie Elf and talk about it. I was going to mention we got movies like Elf and Shrek because Chris Farley died of a drug overdose.
And I live in a van down by the river.
Isn't that a weird fun fact?
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
It was also directed by Jon Favreau, who I mentioned when I talked about The Mandalorian.
But it's weird that it happened twice, right?
I was also planning on going to see A Christmas Story later on. I actually visited the Christmas Story house when I visited Cleveland in 2018, but I unfortunately got sick. I'll spare you the gory details, but I looked like a broken fire hydrant. I pivoted to watching all of the Harry Potter movies instead.
Pivot!
The first two movies were really fleshed out coming-of-age stories, but after that they became generic paint-by-numbers action flicks with a wizard skin. You know I'm a big fan of the Fact or Fantasy channel, so this one's for you, Gibby. We'll start at the beginning with Sorcerer's Stone. This was the first swing, and I think they did an exceptionally good job with it. The effort put in was very clear. My only real complaint was the removal of Peeves. It created a really bad precedent of removing essential characters, which is one of my gripes with the movies. We'll move quickly into Chamber of Secrets now. My main issue was the removal of the Death Day party. I just think it was such an integral plot point that its removal felt weird in an otherwise good movie. At this point you're probably saying, what does this have to do with Danmas? Well, I would say that the first two Harry Potter movies count as Christmas movies. They were both directed by Chris Columbus, who also directed Home Alone, which makes the first two Harry Potter's Christmas movies. Sorry, I don't make the rules.
Happy Christmas, Harry. Happy Christmas, Ron.
The movies kind of went off the rails at this point, so I guess we're going to talk about The Prisoner of Azkaban. Obviously, the Dumbledore recast is the thing that is brought up the most.
Harry, you put your name in the goblet of fire.
But I think if we saw Richard Harris try to move like Michael Gambon, it would have just been sad. It wouldn't be able to cover up the fact that they were just phoning it in now. From here on out, Warner Brothers knew the stupid wizard movies would make money. That leads me to how they totally bastardized Crookshanks. In the books, he saw through Wormtail's bullshit right away. In the movie, he was just an afterthought. Justice for Crookshanks. Another example is the hair. They didn't even follow the source material at this point. Tom Felton's haircut is the easiest example. Nobody will care if we just shit out Goblet of Fire, right? Who gives a flying fuck about Winky and the entire Spew plotline? Ludo Bagman? The reason Weasley's Wizard Wheezes even exists? Oh, just cut that fat off, along with the Rita Skeeter plotline. The dumb fuck audience just wants to see Wormtail bring Voldy back. Goblet of Fire was seriously so bad. That leads to Order of the Phoenix. My biggest gripe with that movie is that Harry's hair is just too short. It's talked about quite often that Harry Potter had really thick and shaggy hair, almost as if it were magic. Daniel Radcliffe, looking so clean, just completely missed the mark. It seemed like an overcorrection to Goblet of Fire, and goes back to the source material thing I brought up earlier. I will say that Imelda Staunton did a really fantastic job playing Dolores Umbridge, though. Perfectly hateable. The next movie would be Half-Blood Prince. I will always absolutely despise the burrow being burned down in Half-Blood. I understand that action scenes needed to be manufactured, so it wasn't just teenage anxiety. But fire is such a symbolic thing in film, even in Harry Potter. The fact it's treated so flippantly and never brought up again is simply absurd. It really should have been an issue in the Deathly Hallows Part 1. But it was Harry, Ron, and Hermione's epic camping adventure, which obviously led into Part 2, which was the end. The end of the Harry Potter books is incredibly satisfying. The movies, though, I don't know. I think they didn't make Neville badass enough. Seeing him kill that snake was so satisfying, but I don't think the movies did my boy Neville enough justice. Neville was probably the chosen one, and I sit firmly behind that. I'm about to roll out, though.
Autobots, roll out!
But thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, but be gentle about it.
Thanks for watching. Peace out, y'all. Merry Danmas.